Hey everybody, what is happening? So today we are going to be talking about greatest common factors. And the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what is a factor? Factors are numbers that you multiply together to get a new number. So let's look at 2 times 3. These are both factors, and they multiply to 6. When you hear the word factors, I want you to think about getting things into a multiplication statement. So let's look again. We've got what is a factor. Now we're going to look at common factors. And common factors, well, they're just that. They're common factors. There's something in common. So if we took the number 12 and we took the number 30, what are the common factors? Well, the factors of 12 are 1 and 12. 1 times 12 is 12. 2 and 6 and 3 and 4. Those are all my factors for 12. We'll do the same thing for 30. 1 and 30. 2 and 15. 3 and 10. 5 and 6. Those are all my factors. Now, common factors are the ones that they share. So we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 6. And that's it. Those are our common factors. And that leads us into the greatest common factor, GCF. So our greatest common factor is the largest number or term that divides evenly into each term. All right, let's check it out. So what's the greatest common factor between 4, 12, and 20? Well, we ask ourselves, what makes up 4, 12, and 20? And then what's common between those? Well, we can check this out and say, well, 4 times 1 is 4. Then we have 4 times 3, and we also have 4 times 5. It looks like 4 is our greatest common factor. We can divide each one of those terms by 4, and we're going to get a different number. All right, and it goes in evenly. So let's try something a little bit more difficult. We've got 7x, we've got 12x squared, and we've got 15x to the 4. Remember that it has to go evenly into every single term to be the greatest common factor. So we've got 7x, we've got 12x squared, we've got 15x to the 4. Well, 7 and 12, those don't have a common factor. 7 and 15, no. 15 and 12, no. So now we've got to look at our variables. Well, each term has an x. So our greatest common factor, or the largest number or term that can be divided by evenly, is just x. All right. So x, x, and x. If we divide this by x, divide by x, divide by x, divide by x, and we get 7, 12x, and 15x to the 3. Let's try this with polynomials. We're going to factor the following. Means write a multiplication statement. So factor the following means write a multiplication statement. So if we get a polynomial like this, 9y minus 15, well, how can we write this same polynomial as a multiplication statement? Well, we ask ourselves, what is common, or what is the greatest common factor? Well, we look at 9 and 15. Well, we've got 9, 15, and you'll get really good at this by the end. And those are my factors for 9. and we've got 1 and 15, and 3 and 5. My greatest common factor is 3. That means I can divide 9y by 3 and 15 by 3, and I get 3y minus 5. Well, what did I have to multiply to get 9y minus 15? Well, I have to put a 3 out front. And I can always check my answer by doing the distributive property. And I get this as my answer. Let's try one more. I get negative 10y squared plus 40y minus 100. Okay, what's common between these? Well, it looks like 10 goes into everything. Well, we divide it by 10, divide it by 10, divide by 10, and we're going to get negative y squared plus 4y minus 10. And to write this as if we factor this, then we're going to put our 10 out front. And what that says is we can get what we started with by putting that 10 out front. All right, have a good rest of the day.